Hey, all you weather geeks, it's Friday. It's weather for Weather Geeks time on this drizzly and London-like Friday afternoon. It's been one of those afternoons where the radar's been kind of deceiving because you look at it and think, oh, there's not much going on, but there's actually quite a bit of very light rain or drizzle happening. The reason why it's not showing up on the radar, we're especially here in Mahoning County, around the greater Youngstown area, we're generally about uh, halfway in between the Pittsburgh and Cleveland Doppler radar sites. And those beams, those radar beams, as they travel out from the radar because of the curvature of the Earth, they increase in elevation as you go, farther away from the radar site. By the time they're over our heads in the heart of our viewing area, it's a few thousand feet at least above our heads, and any precipitation that might be falling below that level is kind of stealthy. In other words, the radar beam can't see it because it's falling down here, whereas the radar beams are up here. And that's a situation we see more often in the winter with precipitation falling out of very low clouds. A lot of times in the summer, the clouds are based much higher up, and therefore the radars can see the precipitation a lot more easily. But anyway, a little bit of rain out there this afternoon, but the steadier, heavier rain is lurking off to our south and west. This is going to arrive here in a few hours as we head towards sunset. And then you look off to the south and west of that, as my internet connection apparently is going to slow to a crawl. Take off the satellite, see if that helps. This is the rain right in here, this zone, that's going to push through late tonight and tomorrow morning, and that's pretty heavy. So the first round's mostly light, that's this evening. Round number two, I think well after midnight tonight and into the daybreak period Saturday morning, that's going to be some pretty heavy rain, I think. So let's first of all show you the temperatures real quickly this afternoon before we get to the details on the rain. It's chilly and it's damp and it's not very nice outside, but it's not freezing cold or anything. Temperatures middle 30s at this hour as we head towards the 2 o'clock p.m. hour, and we'll get up to about 40 late today. We'll kind of hover around 40 for a lot of the night tonight. Now, warm front is down in this direction, but it's only going to get so far north. It'll approach us and it'll help us to keep our temperatures level tonight, but we're not going to get into the truly mild air that's down here in parts of the Gulf Coast region and the deep south. If you want to find some real harsh cold, again, it's up in Canada. Most of the continental U.S. is not seeing a real true Arctic air mass right now. It's in the teens and 20s up in North Dakota, but it's December. That's actually not far from average for them up there in the prairies. All right, so let's focus on the rain that's coming. We're going to start out with our highest resolution computer model. It's called the High Resolution Rapid Refresh, or HRRR, HRRR, simulated radar product here. And we're going to go ahead a couple of hours. Whoops, let's go ahead to 4 p.m. This is just before the holiday parade, tree lighting ceremony. That combination of festivities gets underway in downtown Youngstown late this afternoon. Wish I had better news for you. Bring the rain gear. We appreciate you showing up. 21 News is a sponsor of this. But, get ready to get wet. And it'll be steadier rain than we've seen so far today. Now, this is at 4 o'clock. Here's 5 o'clock. And, this is not going to be heavy rain. It's going to be a downpour. But it's going to be a little steadier, a little heavier than we've had so far today as the leading edge of this band of rain approaches from the south and west. So, again, that's 5 p.m. Skip ahead a couple of hours to 7 p.m., and it's going to be raining. As we go towards the evening hours, that second batch of heavier rain will be back here towards Evansville and Paducah. It's going to cruise our way overnight, so let's watch the progress of that. Here we are at 8 p.m., 9 p.m., and 10 p.m. At 10 p.m., it'll be pouring down in Cincinnati and Louisville. Then middle of the night tonight, here we are at it'll be 2 in the morning, and it continues to push off to the north. It's just going to be a soggy night tonight. As we go towards daybreak tomorrow, some people will be getting up early on a weekend morning. Here we are at 7 a.m. It's still going to be raining at a pretty good clip. We start to see some breaks in the action back here tomorrow morning, but I think it'll still be solidly raining at about sunrise on Saturday morning. And by mid-morning, here we are at 10 a.m., it's going to start to try to let up. Now, I think some light rain or drizzle is going to try to hang on through a good chunk of the midday hours tomorrow, but the steadiest rain, the most consistent rain, will have ended by lunchtime in most of our viewing area. Here's at 11 o'clock in the morning and then noon. And by noon, this kind of caboose, this trailing little piece here, might clip us as we go into mid-afternoon, but by noon, certainly the main round is over with. We're going to have to watch out for this second round and maybe impact areas, especially south of 224 mid-afternoon tomorrow. Skipping ahead to tomorrow evening, we're in the clear at this point, and we'll be drying things out. This is going to be a healthy rain event for us. I'm going to show you the same things I showed yesterday. Here's the SREF. 21 members of this model. The member with the least amount of rain still has 3/4 of an inch. So, even if the lowest version of this model were to verify, this is still, a healthy soaker. Highest totals on the SREF are up over 1.5 inches, and the mean is right around 1.25 inches, which I think is reasonable based on the other models. Here's the European model. It gives us 1.1 in Youngstown, with steadily increasing amounts off to the south. And I think even, the SREF, whatever model you want to believe, the farther south you are, the higher your rain gauge totals are going to be. I could see where someone down here in south of Route 30 gets 1.5 inches pretty easily out of this. And I think someone down towards Interstate 70 and into maybe the Dayton and Cincinnati areas gets 2 inches. And that zone of heavier rain will extend over towards Pittsburgh as well. So we're going to miss the heaviest rain, but still for December, this is a pretty good rainmaker. All right, I'm going to show you a couple of models here to show you how challenging being a weather forecaster can be sometimes. Not necessarily for our weather, but for the East Coast. Sunday's going to be a much better day. There's our high pressure zone, big strong one, 1044 millibars up here over the border between Ontario and Quebec. It's going to give us some sunshine and chilly weather on Sunday, but hang your holiday decorations that day. It'll be a decent enough day for that. By Monday, that strong high pressure zone is over Maine. We're going to start to see more of a southerly flow on the back side of that, and I think temperatures will be pretty decent on Monday. It may cloud up, but we should get into the 40s. Our low pressure system, our next one's out here, and the pressure gradient between the high over here and the low off to the west, it's going to bring in some strengthening mild winds on Monday. All right, as we go towards midweek, this is a forecast headache for meteorologists on the East Coast, that's for sure. By Tuesday, nor'easter is going to try to form off the East Coast. GFS has been poo-pooing this all along, which this is the GFS I'm showing you now. GFS has another low back here with snow showers around our neck of the woods, and I think that's probably the right idea. Might even be a coating of snow out of this on Tuesday. And then I'm going to skip ahead to Tuesday night. Now notice what the GFS is doing here Tuesday night. It's got our main low with that northern feature up over Montreal. No hint of any sort of nor'easter whatsoever for Tuesday night. Now, this exact same time, here's the European. Doesn't look anything like the GFS. Has a strong nor'easter right over New York City almost, with heavy rain and then inland some pretty wet, gloppy snow for the Poconos, the Catskills, heading up towards the Green and White Mountains in New Hampshire and Vermont. So exactly the same time period, two different models with totally different ideas. So, that's interesting, and thankfully we're far enough west where we don't have to worry about that forecast headache. I think we'll see some snow showers for Monday night into Tuesday, perhaps Tuesday night as well. And a quick look at the long range. This is the 8 to 16 day period on, this will be the 13th through the 21st. Looks pretty warm in a lot of the country. Now, in December, warm does not mean 80, but it does mean warmer than average. Now, the heart of this warm air mass will be out here, but even across eastern Ohio and western PA, this is not going to be a pattern that's going to produce much snow. It's going to be a pattern that, sure, there's going to be maybe a chilly day here and there, but overall the 8 days will average warmer than typical for straddling the middle part of December. That means lots of highs, probably in the 40s, maybe even 50 or so a couple of days. And again, this takes us out through the 21st. If we get snow and cold for Christmas, it's going to be at the last minute, and even that is starting to look a little bit doubtful. So if you're wishing for a white Christmas, this may not be our year. We're not going to make that call just yet. But the pattern leading up to Christmas, not very favorable for cold and snow. That's the Friday weather for Weather Geeks. Have a great weekend, everyone. I'll see you right back here on Monday.